there is a emboss or print elephant, and then there's the real thing. And what I want to cover tonight is what it is, how do you tell the difference, why it exists in the first place, and how it's made. So let's get into it. I'm just here to connect ya, and then I'll be on my way. Huge shout out to Twisted X for sponsoring this video. Gotta love it. They're making this stuff possible and helping me continue create content for you guys at home. So they have this elephant print, right? And it's a look that they use on a lot of their different boots, not just this new Tech X boot, which is pretty sweet. And why do they do it though? Why? When real elephant is a thing too. So this is a real elephant leather boot. So we got some things to get into here. And first is, what is it? And how to tell the difference between a print or emboss elephant and the real thing. So it is called print elephant leather or elephant embossed leather. It is cowhide, right? And it's made to look like elephant. Nearly every exotic boot or every exotic leather has an embossed or a print version. And the leather is also printed to make different designs, right? So it's not just exotics that use prints. A lot of leather producers will also just come up with other kinds of designs that they emboss into the leather to make it look distressed or unique or something like that, you know? A good example of this is actually the football. So the football has those little dots on it, right? So that is an emboss or a print. And it's done on a football because it has that grip, right? And it was first done by Horween Leather Company. So let's take a look here at this Twisted X boot, this Twisted X print next to a genuine elephant leather. Here's the print next to the real genuine thing. And if we look at a genuine elephant boot, this is an elephant boot from way out west, you can really see the grain and the deep wrinkles and the very defined dots that you get from elephant leather, right? It's very, very hard to replicate the just high definition look of elephant. And when you look at the Twisted X, right, you still kind of have it a little bit, those wrinkles and those dots, but it's not nearly as defined, right? And it kind of smooths out at the toe box where they kind of had to stretch it over the hard surface of that toe box. But when we go up by the instep, you can really see the defined dots and the deep wrinkles, but it's not nearly as defined as the real thing, as you can see here in the side by side, right? Those dots are like a 4K version of your favorite movie next to watching that on a TV from the 70s, right? That standard definition little square, right? So it's very, very different. The real thing is so much more high definition than the print. Print elephant leather might be a little stiffer than the cowhides that it might be made out of, but it still isn't as stiff as what an elephant is. A print elephant boot is still way easier to break in than real elephant. Real elephant is super tough, one of the hardest leathers to break in. Now let's move on to how it's made. While I was at the Western and English Sales Association trade show last month, I talked to Hunter from the BS Trading Co., which is a leather provider with elephant print options. And you might have seen it from the Twisted X Tech X video that I did, but I'm gonna play it again here on this segment for those of you who might have missed that or forgot what Hunter said from BS Trading Co. So here's what he had to say to me while I was at WESA.
So embossed leather's pretty interesting. We start with a plain regular cowhide. We come in and stamp the pattern in. It takes about 80,000 pounds of pressure to get the pattern to where it stays. And then the base color is put on originally, and then all the lighter tones you see are all hand rubbed in and finished by hand. Sometimes the actual base material to hold the embossing pattern has to be a stiffer hide to keep the pattern that we're trying to put into it. If you went with a real elephant hide, you're probably going to be about 10 times the price. Still real leather, but the faux pattern. and it gains you a lot of value and still gets a look you're after.
So he said 80,000 pounds of pressure to make an embossed leather. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That leads us to the last part, is why is it even used to begin with, right? And Hunter sort of touched on it there at the end of that clip, right? It's about the look and it's about the price. I also asked Twisted X this question too, because they use print elephant leathers on many different boots over the years, and Clayton Smith, the senior director of sales over at Twisted X, got back to me with this answer.
Hey Jeremiah, thanks for the question. Genuine elephant is both rare and expensive. So print or embossed leathers are a great way to get the look that you want at a price that's affordable. For Twisted X, this is attractive because we can create and build boots that have an intricate look, but we can offer them to our customers at an affordable price. Print and embossed leathers are pretty common across the boot industry. You'll see elephant, ostrich, piruku, a bunch of different printed leathers or embossed leathers. And you'll see elephant especially named a few different ways, elephant print. Sometimes I've seen safari leather, different variations of that name. But it allows the industry to create boots that, they may not have been able to previously if they used the genuine hides. However, it also allows them to build a style that the customer wants, those exotic looks, at a price that doesn't break the bank.
Thank you, Clayton, for recording that answer for us. So it comes down to style and price for the most part, right? Boots using elephant print leather are like half the price, if not a third of the price of genuine elephant boots. In this case, of these two boots, right? So this one right here comes in at $270. This one here comes in at $2,000 because it was made by a custom boot maker. So drastically different price ranges for drastically different budget ranges. Other than there being the style and the look that you want, and also at the price range that you want, I think there's an ethical part to this too, right? More so than other exotics when we think about it. So elephant leather, when we were growing up and even still today, there's always talk about poaching, about how they're an endangered species or close to an endangered species. And elephant leather has had laws change around it several times over the past few decades. At the moment, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, they all have the elephant listed as not necessarily now threatened with extinction. That's a quote. Herds are culled in those countries to keep the population of elephants healthy and growing in those African states, and it also helps protect villagers, as some elephants can be dangerous to human communities. And the trade of this elephant leather, when elephants are culled, is overseen by CITES, which is also known as the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, and that's global. That's a global organization. They require all proceeds from the sales of elephant products to go back to the conservation of elephants. But elephants are still extremely smart creatures, and many people refuse to use their leather when making products or to buy goods that uses its leather, which is a completely respectable stance to take. When I polled you guys about this, let me show you the chart. Just over 3/4 of you said that the use of elephant leather was fine as long as it's legal. Just over 11% of you said that it shouldn't be used at all, even if it is legal. And around 12% of you said you didn't care, or you just didn't have enough information to have an opinion. So it's important for people to have options, right? For the look, the price, and their beliefs. So I'm happy that elephant print leather exists, and I hope you guys learned a little bit something from this segment today. Man, oh man, it is a great, great look. And there's some other prints too, like, geez, the Sasquatch print. Have you guys ever seen the Sasquatch one with the deep like scratches across it? That's what it looks like. So as you can see, you got those little ridges and scars, right? That's a Sasquatch print. From ethics to style. Oh. don't forget the cost. Now you know the value of leather with elephant embossed. The print or the real thing? It's up to you and your wallet and your ethics.